Hey all, it's your Numerical Lion back with another video. And I've been looking at these Final Four matches ups. I just did a video on Gonzaga and UCLA and why I think UCLA might win. Here's Houston against Baylor, two Texas teams, and it starts at 5:14 today. Hopefully I can get this video out in time. As I mentioned before, my upload speed is really slow. The line on this is now 190, the money line for Houston 190. It's been moving up, so that's interesting. And let's get to the decode here. So the funny thing is, this is the anniversary of when Kelvin Sampson was hired as the new head coach of the Cougars. Today, on this final four game, the 93rd day of the year, Um, Kelvin Sampson was hired 7 years ago on this date as the new head coach. Isn't it interesting that he's in the final four, should I say? So let's look at Kelvin Sampson, born October 5th, 1955. Kevin Dale Simpson, and from his birthday, his last birthday, to this game is the 181st day of his age. 181, a big number in this practice. It's the 42nd prime. Um, oops. 181, the 42nd prime number. Kelvin Sampson equals 181. There's that slide. And Cougars equals 42. So perhaps, this is just saying that they'll be there. Very high probability that they would have been in this game. Let's look at Kelvin Sampson's record. It's just with Houston. Overall, 883 games. He could win his 593rd or he could lose his 291st. With Houston, this will be his 231st game. He could possibly get his 168th win. He's at 167 right now, or 64th loss, or or stay on 63 losses. So 183 is the 153rd prime. If he wins 593, 593 is the 108th prime. 593 is the 108th prime, or 18. All right. And that points to the Baylor Bears. Baylor Bears, 18. The loss would be his 291st loss if he did lose. And right now he's at 167 wins with Houston. 167, the 39th prime. Cougars equals 39. So does he stay on 167 wins? I don't know. So he was hired on 4-3. The game's at 4-3. Sampson equals 43. Let's look at their path here. They beat San Diego State with 67 points. Right, their last game they won with 67 points. It's pretty interesting because they met. The last time they played was 6,700 days ago, back in 2002. I'll get to that. But anyway, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 victories, Kelvin Sampson, and 2 losses with Houston. So I'll show you why that's interesting. Baylor equals 73 if he loses. So that's interesting. So the Cougars have appeared in 22 tournaments. The overall record is 32-26. If they win, this will be the 59th game. If they win, they'll have 33 wins in the tournament. If they lose, they'll have 27 losses. Interesting, if they win, it harkens back to Phi Slamma Jamma back with Drexler and Elijah. That equals 33 in the Chaldean cipher. And they could get their 33rd victory or 27th loss. Bears equals 27. Bears could get their 27th victory of the season. Let's look at the Bears. They've appeared in the tournament 13 times. Their record is 18-14. This will be their 33rd game. So a big game for them. 33rd. They can either win their 19th or lose their 15th. Bears equals 18. Could stay on 18 wins. All right, Baylor also 28. And that's interesting because this game will be played on a day with 28 numerology. So you can see this thing's double coded. The coach of Baylor is Scott Drew, Scott Homer Drew, October 23rd. He was born 1970. And I'm going to show you some amazing links between Scott Drew, the coach of Baylor, and the coach and Kelvin Sampson, the coach of Houston. So Kelvin Dale Sampson equals 192. And that's interesting. Sampson can get his 291st career loss, 192, the reflection of 291. And then the other coach's full name equals 192. I mean, what are the odds that both their names equal 192? I think they're, and he can get his 291st career loss. So Drexler, who's on that Phi Slamma Jamma team, was born June 22nd, leaving 192 days left in the year. Scott Drew also 53. I'll get to more with Drexler and Elijah. Scott Drew 53, Kelvin Sampson 53. Where is this being played? In Lucas Oil. Everything's got a sponsor now. Lucas Oil Stadium equals 53 as well. Also 226. If you write 226 out, probably have a slide on this, it equals 93. So how appropriate that these guys are playing. 226 equals 93. Look, it also equals 291. We were just talking, he can get his 291st loss on this day. Very interesting with the 291 and the 192. So the Cougars and Bears have met 53 times. This is the 54th meeting. Isn't that interesting? 54. And Kelvin Sampson equals 73. He could go 7-3 again, in the tournament. And Baylor equals 73. And look at Kelvin's first name at Baylor. 73, 28, 89, 35. A perfect match. Kelvin and Baylor. Like, he should be coaching Baylor. And Kelvin Sampson born with 89 numerology as well. And Houston equals 77. Scott, the other first name of the other coach, equals 77. There's a link between Scott and Houston, 31. And then Houston 32 and Scott 23. And then if you look at his record, this will be his 617th game. He could win his 391st game, right? Or he could stay on 39 against the Cougars, and he's at 226 right now. If you write out 226, it equals 93, right? We've already established that. Or he could lose his 227th. At Baylor, he's got 500. This would be his 586th game, and he's got 370 wins. Remember the, well, I'm not sure of the relationship. Wait, he could lose his 216th game, or could stay on 370 wins, or get 371. So, I'm just seeing if I missed anything. Cougars 39, right? 370 wins at Baylor. Scott Drew through 37. So does he stay on 370? It's a tough riddle. From his birthday to this game is the 163rd day of his age, of age 50. Sampson equals 38. Sampson without the D. Sampson 38. And then there's a little factoid. The Cougars own a 38-15 record over the Bears, but the Cougars have never played the Bears where the Bears were ranked in the top 25 or outside the state of Texas or the NCAA tournament. So they've won 38 games over the Bears, going for their 39th game on the 93rd day of the year. So Cougars equal 39. Probably mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again. Cougars equals 39 in the cipher right here, the single reduction. And they haven't been back since 84, right? To the Final Four. Cougars 84. I'm rooting for a Cougar Bruin reunion, basically. So here's what I was talking about before. This is the last time they played on November 30th, 2002, was 6,700 days ago. Kind of like 67, right? Houston scored 67 points last game, 67 the 19th prime. Baylor can get its 19th NCAA tournament victory. And here was the line then. It was at 180. It's gone up to 190. It was 180 days from Coach Sampson's 65th birthday. Bears 18. And as you can see, the line steadily going up in favor. See that? Now 185. Now it's at 190. And then let's look at Hakeem, born in 63, January 21st, 21-1, or 21-11, 47th prime. Anyway, from this game to his next birthday is exactly 42 weeks. Elijah Wan, 42. Of course. Clyde Drexler in the Chaldean cipher, 42. And then Cougars, 42, right? So it's also 10 weeks and 3 days from his birthday to this game. 10 weeks and 3 days. Hakeem Abdul Olajuwon equals 103. Drexler equals 103. 103, a prime number. I'll show you that in a bit. Oh, I've got some stuff on here that I haven't dealt with. Oh my God. Okay, so 103, the 27th prime. Upset 27. Upset's also 81. That's why I have that 81 in there. Upset 81. And it's 81 days to his next birthday. Clyde Drexler's birthday. It's also 30 weeks. Look at Drexler and Olajuwon. They're 30 weeks and 3 days apart. They can win their 33rd game of the NCAA tournament all time. Houston can. All right. This is the 33rd game for Baylor. Also 213 days apart. That's interesting because NBA Finals, that's the California area code, 213, or Los Angeles. So maybe we're talking about a UCLA Houston final. That's what I'm hoping. So the last time these two played, the Bruins was on a day with 93 numerology. and the Bruins killed them 101-69. They played on March 22nd. Bruins 101 points. They beat them by what? 30, 32. Beat them by 32. Right? Houston has 32 victories in the tournament right now. So Clyde Drexler, 63, Elijah born in 63. Also a racism number, but we're not going to get into that. So, yeah, I'm thinking that it's going to be an upset because we want the UCLA Houston final, right? They're all talking about this perfect season stuff, but who's the originator of the perfect season? It's UCLA. UCLA has been the underdog this whole time. They had a couple perfect seasons. Indiana, the last team to do it, and they're doing it in Indiana, right? Indiana, 47-137. Indianapolis. Indianapolis 103, right? Wasn't that Elijah's number? And Drexler's number? So that's what I got for you. If you do go bet responsibly. Get sucked into this. I just kind of do this for fun. I don't know if I spelled Indianapolis right. How do you spell Indianapolis? Let me just check on this. Indianapolis. Indianapolis. Capital city of Indiana. Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah, I had it right. I just wanted to check. All right, anyway, thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.